Good morning. This is Terry at Fabric Junction, and today I'm going to show you a new 6-inch block that's called New Album. I'm not sure why they needed a new one, but they created a new album versus the old traditional. And in the quilt, let me see where it went to. It was right behind me. Here it is. Here's the block in the quilt, and here is how we'll put it together for the pot holder. You have these wonderful corner blocks that are, a different version of the half square triangle. We have our square, 2 small triangles, and a larger triangle. Now I got to remind you, all the measurements for these blocks are on our blog site called fabricjunctionjewels.blogspot.com. So if you want to make any of these for any project, baby blanket, table runner, placemats, they're a great size for any one of those. As you can see, I lined up on the corner because it's easier to feed a corner through than a point. And I'm actually going to press towards my light because that's going to give me the less bulky versus on top of itself. Again, line up the other side, fold it over, and I will start here, and I actually should end up crossing right in this area right here. That's where we want to be. Outward, trim our dog ears, and now we're going to line up with our second triangle, to create our block. Okay, I'm going to get it lined up, match my ends here, get my points lined up, and then this one I'm actually going to flip it over so I can cross right at this intersection. This is where I want to cross. So I don't cut the tip off of my square, because we tend to do that quite often. I do it quite often. So I work at trying not to cut those tips off. So I'm going to line it up. And I have my laser light on this machine to help me line up. If you don't have one, just kind of watch. Aim for that intersection. Once you cross it, keep it at your 1/4 inch seam. And it should not, hopefully, have cut off my tip. Nope, it is intact. Now I'm going to press towards the green in this case, because that is, again, the less of the bulky sides. Trim off my dog ears, and then I'm going to set it, hopefully the way it belongs, in my block, and get ready to do the center. Now the center is very easy. It's like doing a snowball, except we're only going to do 2 sides. What I have done is I have drawn a line from point to point. If you have a sewing machine that has a laser, you can set that laser up so that you don't have to draw the line. Because then you can put your needle right where the point is, the laser will shoot across to the other point, and then you just stay lined up. And the other side, get it lined up nice. little press and cut on something this small, I just use the scissors and trim. If I was doing a big and lots, I would grab my cutter and a straight edge. But with just a single little one like this. Okay, now, based on, what did I do? I did, when I set this, I thought something looks screwy here. That looks like a different block. I know we've done that block that's got a setup similar to what I was just doing. Or we will be doing a block that has a setup like this. Now that looks better. That looks like my pot holder. It looks like the one behind me. Now I'm going to add my center because I knew my green points needed to line up. Everything is lined up just nice, and yes. Okay, so we have it corrected. We know where we're going to go. Now to sew it together, I start in the center. I just grab from the right and flip so that I don't accidentally turn my pieces when I'm putting my block together, because that is very easy to do. So just get in the habit of grabbing on the right hand side, flipping it over, flipping it to the left, and flip. If I had a stack of these, I would just keep right on going. I'd have had them all stacked up there to do them one after the other, but I'm only doing one. I'm going to finish this part off because I know you're getting the idea of what we're doing. Open the next one up. Last one. Now with so many different pieces, before you sew the other direction, you might want to open it up real quick and go, okay, is everything still going the same direction? Is it exactly where I want it? If the answer is yes, go ahead and sew it. In this case, I flip it over and I do just a simple finger press and get my seams to butt up against each other, sew it. Once I have sewn it, then I do a nice press to get it to lay flat. With that, we're going to move on because we want to put our pot holder together, and I added an 1.5 inch border to this. So this one here is 1.5 by 6.5. Actually, they all are, because I added cornerstones. The cornerstone would be a 1.5 square, one to the top and the bottom. It's sewn together. Now we're going to quilt it. Cut a piece of back that is bigger than what I need, along with a piece of batting and a piece of Insulbright to give me that little extra security. When you're using it, place your block on top. Do a little bit of quilting. I did just a simple stitch in the ditch on this one. You can practice your free motion, whatever you choose, then add your binding. That is our new album block. Hope you like it. Check us out at junctionfabric.com or stop by the store if you happen to get close by. Thank you again.